Good morning, everyone. This is Sunday at Sunrise. I am JB Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer of JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics. And it is Sunday at Sunrise, the soul of your money. That's what I call it. Go to thesoulofyourmoney.com and the events calendar at AfroEconomics and know that we have events all through the week, including members only meetings on Fridays. And so you can indeed join. And as we approach the season of giving, don't forget that at AfroEconomics, we give back. We have a online complimentary, absolutely free, no excuse membership for those of you who are preparing to build your financial life. And that's a first step towards full service financial planning at AfroEconomics. So take advantage of it. Good morning again. I love this topic because it is the best in me. You bring out the best in me. You make me better. Yes, indeed. And when I think about that, I'm really thinking about God. And I'm thinking about the beautiful people that God brings into my life. And in business, in life, we're constantly making choices about who we need to surround ourselves with, who we need to spend our time with, who we need to marry, who we need to just have as a friend. And God, the help of God and the word of God helps us make better selections. And living for God is not necessarily the most popular choice. And it's not always easy when we're living in this world that doesn't talk a lot about, they've even made it like politically incorrect. Who wants to be politically correct, right? But it's incorrect a lot of times. Some people, I've been told several times, don't talk about God, but there is no me without God. I truly mean that, right? And then many times in expressing your relationship with God and knowing how much better God has made you, it can be challenging. And that's why I love doing these discussions so that you can watch them all the way through the week. We have an entire playlist of the Sunday at Sunrise, the soul of your money, the fifth principle of AfroEconomics, Gianyami, bringing God into every aspect of your daily life and front and center of our financial decision, right? So choosing to give your heart, meaning opening yourself up for many people to an entire new way of thinking, feeling, and seeing. But it means also opening yourself up to complete acceptance and unconditional love that only God can give us, right? And I know that it's hard for most of us to fathom it, but God sees me, He sees you, He knows me, and He wants us both to be wrapped in His protection, right? So let's when we're thinking about this topic, you make me better, let's feel free to bring it into every aspect of your life. Everything that we do, it should be building up you and your relationship with God. Your relationship with God will make you better. Your friendships will make you better. Your business decisions will make you better. Your marriage can make you better. Let's study a few scriptures, a few verses out of the Bible to help us celebrate our relationship with God, but also they can help us be better, help us develop high quality friendships, high quality business relationships. And all of them should really, a good quality friendship, relationship, marriage should have certain core traits that lead to it being sustainable. And I think that a really good, high quality friendship, relationship, marriage will have a mutual sense of empathy, comfort, love, and understanding. But also, be based on honesty, acceptance. These are some key things that we're going to look at Bible verses for each one. A good friend, a good relationship, a good marriage, a good spouse will be easy to please, non-judgmental, right? Loyal, respectful, and trustworthy, right? So let's look at them as we go through. I have some verses that I pulled out on these attributes that I feel that are part of a relationship that makes you better. That I feel that these are attributes of our relationship with God. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. So there is no judgment about anything that you've done in the past, right? I love this song. I was playing it just briefly at the beginning. It's that you bring out the best in me. It says, he's mine, God is mine. I am his. He only sees me for who I am. It doesn't matter what I did. It's so beautiful. You see the best in me. But that's what you want your friends to do. That's what you want to have in a really sustainable relationship on any capacity, really. Like, if you're, working in a business relationship and that one day you were late and then the next day you come in and you're on time and they say, well, you're always late. That's not someone making you better. That's someone looking at you for what you have done. And you need to point these things out that I don't need that. Don't speak negativity onto me. Let's build each other up. So let's start with these attributes. Honesty. Your real friend, your real relationship is going to be honest. I talk to people all the time and they're considered going into business partnerships with people. And they really haven't decided. They've decided because they're only looking at it from a financial perspective that this person has some money and they can put it into the business. But you got to look deeper. So let's look at these attributes that God has blessed us with that we want to bring into our relationships. Honest person. You're an honest person. In James chapter 3, verse 17, but the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. That's honesty, right? Also, accepting, not that you have to feel that you have to prove yourself. God doesn't require us of that. But, a good relationship, a good friendship, a good partner is going to accept that this is your strength, this is their strength. You're working together and you're pulling out the best of each other. We must take care to remember that God sees us at our best, as well as he accepts us at our very worst, and he accepts us completely. In Romans chapter 15, verse 7, accept one another then, just as Christ accepted you, in order to bring praise to God. Because by accepting one another, we're able to just be more joyful and to really appreciate and show gratitude to God a lot easier than if we're living in a society or a world that you created of just putting each other down and having to constantly prove yourself over and over to a person on this planet when you don't have to do that for God. So bring those qualities in. And also Romans chapter 12, verse 2, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. By that testing, you may discern what is the will of God and what is good and acceptable and perfect. And also, there shouldn't be a whole lot of work that you got to go through to appease this person. They should be easy to please. You shouldn't have to, over and over just be, having to buy things or to become, in debt because you have to please this person. No, a God-like quality would be easy to please. A good friend is easy to please. Not saying that they settle for bad behavior. No, but they're easy to please because they're appreciating your qualities of honesty and trustworthiness and non-judgmental. They're appreciating the core of you, not the worldly attributes of what a good friend may be in their opinion. That would be more complicated, and you constantly would be having to prove yourself. But in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. It's easy. Your success is guaranteed. It's that all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good. He's easy. It's easy to please. All he asks is that you love him. That's it. And that's how we should translate that over into our relationships that are building us up as well. Easy to please. Just showing love. Love, not something that has to be bought. Non-judgmental, key quality, non-judgmental. In Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 through 5, 1, do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Wow, how humbling. He said, you're talking about somebody with a little issue, and you got this great big issue that you thinking that nobody knows about. God knows about it. So when we think about ourselves first and what we're dealing with and what you're trying to overcome and how God is helping you, and you're going to judge somebody else because they can't pay their bill or, whatever, they might not be able to pay their bill, but they don't have any debt. And you might have $1 million of debt, but you've got this great big plank, this great big issue, but you're thinking because they don't have $50, they're so much worse off than you. So it's like, that's why don't judge, or you too will be judged. Because things change real quickly. So we all need to know, we're at God's mercy. We truly are. Another major attribute for surrounding yourself with people that make you better, or a person that makes you better, is that they're going to be loyal. A godly friendship is priceless. Many people only see loyalty when there's something many people only show us loyalty when they have something to benefit from it themselves. But that's not loyalty. That's just convenience, right? But we have to not act like the world, because God is loyal to us. And a good godly friendship is priceless. Thank you. I'm like, thank you. Excuse me. So in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 9, know that your God is God, and the faithful God who keeps his gracious covenant of loyalty for 1,000 generations with those who love him and keep his commands. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 9. Know that your God is God, the faithful God who keeps his gracious covenant of loyalty for 1,000 generations with those who love him and keep his commands. He's loyal to us. He's loyal to us. So then in respectful, you make me better because you're respectful of me. You respect me. God respects us. In Romans chapter 12, verse 10, be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. And I think like people will start disrespecting one another in business and different, when all of a sudden they don't have any respect for the other person. You know, even the fact where when people have to file bankruptcy, that's, you know, when they have begun to dishonor the person or entity that decided that they were going to loan them money. You know, to not pay back a debt that you owe is disrespectful. It's working out of order. To not keep the commitment that you promised to someone is disrespectful. You're not honoring them. God made a commitment to you that he will be there for you every day of your life. Do you love him and allow him in? He's giving you these simple things for us to do to make the best life. You know, you want to live your best life? He said, this is all you got to do. You know, and because he's going to be respectful of you. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. And Lord knows the world would be a better place, wouldn't it? In Philippians chapter 2, verse 3, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. Trustworthy. Another very important attribute, trustworthy. In Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 7, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. Humility, right? We're talking about making us better, surrounding ourselves with people who make us better. May it be one or two, but if you surround yourself with a lot of people that don't have these attributes, you're really weakening your life. Let's surround ourselves with people that are attributes. These are attributes of what a good friend would be. These are attributes of what God has promised to us. He's been honest with us. He's easy to please. He's non-judgmental. He's loyal. He's respectful. He's trustworthy. You know, and let's give it back. Let's give it back. And let's live that life. It said that we're supposed to be Christ-like. Like that's the reason God gave us that example of Christ. You know, not for us to argue about how we're going to worship and how we're going to have religion and what religion is better, but to be Christ-like. God, Christ didn't go around judging people because they were a different religion, nor made different choices with their life. No, you can still be a good friend to someone who's made different choices to you. You can still be honest, trustworthy, you know, and they may choose not to spend much time with you because your habits are different, but you still can be a good friend to them. So we all want to be accepted. The desire to fit in somewhere lies within all of us, right? We try to be different. We try to join different groups, join different clubs. We go to different places, go to different things, different activities. We try to find out where we best fit in. But if we listen close enough to God, we will hear God's instruction that tells us where we don't belong. and who we don't belong with, right? Because we belong with God. And until we really seek our acceptance from God, we will always feel like we're not where we should be, or are a little outside. God is the only source really of that true comfort, especially as Black people living in America. Our relationship with God becomes so much more important so that we can feel accepted no matter where you are. Because a lot of times we're in situations where you're the only one that looks like you. But when you can focus on God, you can find people within that group that you see attributes of God in and feel that you have fit in. God makes us bigger, broader. So the Bible verses that I was talking about just help me find my place in the world. And I hope that they will help you too, and help you to just expand on your relationships and become a better wife, a better husband, a better mother, a better brother, a better sister. It's a process. Sometimes I act up so bad, I just go, dear God, I feel bad. Like, God, please forgive me. How you doing? How are you? How are you? Yes, indeed. Good morning. Good morning, Mike. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Smith. Good morning. Good morning, Ms. Jones. Good morning to our callers. We got 3 people on the phone this morning, one from 301. I appreciate you all. But let's be good friends to one another. Especially as a business owner, these attributes, and when I focus on that 5th principle of AfroEconomics, of integrity, of Jianyame, including God, knowing that everything is possible through God, that helps me be a better friend to you, a better leader to you, a better, counselor to you, because of my relationship with God, and not just superficially, but internally, like and able to make me feel a sincere commitment that I have a responsibility to you, not to be perfect, but to make my best effort to do all that I have been put here to do. Sometimes accepting my imperfections make me better, knowing that I'm leaning completely 100% on God. And I think that when I was in a point in my life where I felt that, that everything was under my control, and if I put out this effort, then these things will happen, and and they do happen. But through God, it's sustainable. I believe that is what keeps us over the long term, is our true relationship with God, that just keeps us at a place of peace. So we're not going through the whole stress out and the burnout and the things that regular people do. Not judging, but I don't know how I can be an entrepreneur without my relationship with God. So I just want to live as an example and give everybody that there is an alternative to being, the textbook entrepreneur of worrying about everything all the time and feeling overwhelmed. But when we just, know that may God's will be done, that is my daily prayer. And I'll allow him to lead my life and to focus on attributes of God, then it's much easier and not stressful. Because it's, it is my nature to be honest. It is my nature to want to please and to not require you to have to jump through hoops to please me. It's my nature through God to be non-judgmental and to accept your situation just the way it is, and to accept my situation just the way it is. A lot of times you become more judgmental because you're judging yourself all the time. If you stop judging yourself, when I say non-judgmental, it's about developing that loving relationship with ourselves as well, letting go of the past, accepting what is done, and moving forward. being loyal to yourself so that you can be loyal to your friends, loyal to your spouse, loyal. But first you got to be loyal to yourself, because God is loyal to us. Respectful. Self-respect is real. Trustworthy. Got to be able to trust yourself. People go, oh, I'll get there on time. If I hope so. What? So you don't trust yourself? You don't think that you can adjust yourself accordingly to do whatever is required of you? You got to trust yourself. You got to trust yourself before you can expect someone else to trust you, right? So God is a constant in my life, and I pray that he will be the same for you. God bless you. I love you all. Thank you for all that you do. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Wonderful week. Make it good. Have a great day. Thank you. And I can't help but to give God glory. When I think about my story, oh dear God, I got a story to tell. And I know you favored me because my enemies, they did try, but they couldn't try over me. Yes, they did try, but they never tried. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still blessed. On my way to my destiny. Because the favor of God is on my life. Let me tell you about love. Love is patience.